Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to RJH live stream all the way from Spain. Hola. Hello. Hiya. Bonjour. To all of those that are watching RJH live stream Sunday, the 26th of September, all the way from Spain. All the way from Spain. Welcome, everybody. What a day, what a week, what a month. Just a Sunday catch-up, nothing too taxing, just a Sunday catch-up. Just checking in. It's my last live stream from Spain on this vacation, as I am traveling back to the UK in about a week. So I've been in Spain for the whole of September, kept the live streams going, and I travel back to Spain at the end of the week. Lisa's staying on in Spain for a little bit longer. The weather is very, very nice. So I'm traveling back solo. But I've got some exciting news anyway, so stay tuned. Exciting news coming up. Exciting stuff coming up. So, yeah, so well done. Welcome, everybody, for tuning in. Sunday, 26th of September 2021. So first of all, well done to everybody that has been messaging me still from up and down the country. Keep those messages coming. Very nice to know that the videos are helping so many people up and down the country, whether that be on the CBTs, whether it be on the Module 1s, Module 2s. And I do promise I will get back onto the live stream, Module 1s, Module 2s, CBTs live streams when I get back to the UK. So thank you, everybody, for messaging me and getting in touch. Also, Team RJH, well done again. A very busy week still on tests, Module 1 and Module 2 on CBTs. We're currently introducing more CBTs than we have done previously. And well done to everybody starting their journey on the tasters. So well done to everybody, Team RJH, and all of the trainees coming through the schools. It really has been a very busy week. So that's all of that out of the way. What I'd also say to anybody that's watching is, well, also do follow us on the social medias. We do have an active social media platform away from the YouTube. We're very busy on Facebook. We're very busy on Instagram, and we're very busy on Twitter. Also, we have our very own motorcycle training forum. Now, all of the links to the platforms, including the forum, is on our website. So do check out our website. And if anybody needs any assistance with any aspect of their journey into getting on two wheels, then do subscribe on there. So there's a website. Get on there, have a look at our social medias. You can interact on a daily basis with your instructors. There's a lot of experience there. So see how you go. And that's that. Also, what is important on the live streams is the interaction. So do comment away. If I can also, any new viewers, ask you to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Really, really important. So that's all of those bits and bobs out the way. So let's see who we've got in the chat room. Good evening, Lisa. Good evening, Tom Duffy. Now, is that a new name for us, Tom Duffy? You failed your DAS 4 times in Darwin. You're not with us, are you, Tom? We've got a video on the YouTube channel of a test route in Darwin. 4 times. So let us know, mate, what you have been failing on. But I don't think you're with us, are you? Let me just see if I can get the video. Yeah, here's one for you, Tom. This is a test route we've got in Darwin. This is for you, Tom. Take a look at that. It's a test route that Graham did on a test route in Darwin. 4 times in Darwin. Sorry to hear that, mate. Anyway, I don't think you're one of ours. Isabel. Hello, Stephen here again. So, Stephen, you've hijacked Isabel's account, have you? Good evening, Sophie. Sophie is a super fan of RJH YouTube. Nice of you to join us, Sophie. And she's also a very promising young instructor in the making. Good evening, Bullbag. Yes, Tom, come on, mate, share with us. We're all interested to know what you failed your DAS 4 times on. Is it module 1? Is it module 2? Good evening, Sylvia, the sergeant. AW8, good evening. Well done, passing your module 1, mate. Well done indeed. So just the final hurdle, module 2. Good evening, Isabel again. How was the holiday? The holiday, which I am still on, is splendid. I travel back to the UK on the 2nd of October. So what's that, next Saturday? Yeah, so this time round is coming to a close quite quickly, although I am planning to ride the bike back down in November. So I am planning to ride back down in November. So that's my latest plan. Riding down to Spain during November. And I'm thinking about leaving the bike here, flying home. So then I've got the bike down here permanently. That's the plan. And we've all got to have plans, haven't we? We've all got to have things to aim for and things to look forward to. But I'm thinking about taking a week riding down, go through countries in Europe, go back down through Switzerland again, Germany, Switzerland. That's the plan. So we'll see how it goes. Ballbag, you failed your module 2 on a lane change, shoulder check. What, you missed your shoulder check? You ain't going to get away with changing a lane on a module 2 test if you don't do a lifesaver. You don't go where your eyes haven't seen. That's a really, really important message. So anyway, how are you all doing? I've got me refreshments. How's that? That looks nice, doesn't it? And I got a little treat. I can't have it now because we've just come in after having a meal. I put on my Instagram page, oh my God, a cheesecake. It was stunning. And I still need to just wait, let it go for a little bit. But I've got a little treat for later. How's that? That is for me for later. And it's been in the fridge, because if it ain't in the fridge, then it's going to melt over here. But that is my little treat for later. Angry Panda, good evening to you. Stephen Griff, good evening, Stephen. Are you a new follower? Are you new to the channel, mate? Name doesn't ring a bell. Nope, you're a regular. Good man. I'll remember that name for future. Good evening, Jude. BC has your Mod 2 retest on Thursday. Fingers crossed. Good luck. Just enjoy it. Get out there and do what you do. But there's so many live streams that are stored in the playlist of Module 2. So many videos we've got on the channel of Module 2. So get cramming them in. Get watching as many as you can. And keep us posted. Yeah, keep us posted. We like to see those positive results. Yes. Response to signs and signals and road markings. That was your major fault. What did you do then? You just missed your speed signs, or what was it on response to signs and signals then? All back. Good evening, Carl Crompton. You're not new, so you ain't going to get away with that, matey. Stephen Griff, got your third CBT a week today. Hopefully a new bike to do it on. Well, let me tell you now, Stephen, if you're doing your CBT with us, RJH, in Wigan, in Eccles, or in Northwich, 2021 plate bikes. All the bikes are new or new-ish. Kawasaki Z125s, Honda CB125Fs, and Honda MSX Grom 125. So if you're doing your CBT with RJH, you will be on new bikes. That said, I suppose what we could talk about is, so third CBT a week today. You know, are they going to go ahead? Are tests going to go ahead? So, you know, for a bike school, we've come out of lockdown 3, so we've had what, 12 months, 18 months of COVID interruption. You know, like everybody in the world, it's not just us to get that. So we've had that to contend with. Also, I would say more so of late, we are experiencing challenging times getting tests, although we are more fortunate than most because we've got 3 schools. Geographically, we're using 8 different test centres. So, you know, we fare better than most, but, you know, it is challenging times getting tests. And at the moment, you know, the DVSA are, you know, we're getting short notice cancellations and things like that, particularly one test centre. I'm not going to mention that test centre. Then there's the threat of the examiners' strike, which is, I think, as a result of the higher up the ladder are trying to get an examiner to do 8 tests in a day and not 7. It's making that longer working day. So I think the union's getting involved. And there is a good possibility that the examiners could be going on strike, you know. So we've not only had COVID, we've not only had the challenging period of getting tests, but now we're faced with the possibility of strike action from the examiners. And if that isn't enough, what else have we got? We've got fuel supply. So, you know, or the petrol stations getting the fuel, which, you know, there's plenty of fuel around. It's just the petrol stations can't get it because the HGV drivers are not there. So where does that come from? Why haven't we got the HGV drivers? I suppose that all comes back to the Brexit. When, you know, a high percentage of the workforce, lorry drivers, HGV drivers, would have been foreign. So Brexit, they've all gone home. So lots of challenging times. So going back to what prompted me with all that is, Stephen, you know, got your third CBT a week today. If it goes ahead, you know, if schools haven't got the ability to get fuel, there's going to be a problem. Although we have got a few electric bikes in, so we could certainly get your CBT done. But for the petrol bikes, if we can't get petrol, we can't do the if we can't get the petrol, we can't do the training. But that's my little rant over anyway. That is my rant over. Because I know we have been experiencing a few problems. So, you know, if we know that we're not going to get petrol for another month, I'll stay in Spain. Good evening to Darren. Nice to see you back, Darren. I'm sure the petrol situation will be sorted out. As I say, there's not a shortage of fuel. That's what everybody's saying. The shortage of fuel that we're experiencing at the pumps is because of the media and everybody panic buying. It's a bit like toilet rolls with the COVID, wasn't it? Toilet rolls. Nobody could get toilet rolls. Nobody ever ran out. Well, this is a bit like that. There's no need to be panic buying. And it's just the transporting the fuel to the petrol stations. That's my understanding of it. That's it. Yeah, it is a lot there. The fuel isn't the problem. No, totally agree with that. It is the ability to get it to the stations. Anger now. Somebody there. Is it bad riding in the rain? Can be. Yeah, you got to ride to the conditions. Yeah, so you got to ride to the conditions. What I have got is a video on riding in the rain, and I'm going to see if I can find it. It's quite good, isn't it, when these things come up and I think, oh, I've got a video on that. Let me find it and I'll post it. It's really good. So, yeah, is it bad riding in the rain? Well, it can be. I suppose that's what I'd say. It can be. If you don't ride according to the conditions, you will have a problem. So let me see if I can find it. It was a while ago. In fact, it was probably one of my earlier videos. Might have even been, 5 years ago. Observa cómo madura. I've got it here. Quite a lot of tips here. Quite a lot of tips for riding in the snow. Riding riding in the rain. Riding in the rain. If I put that there, have a look at that one. What I'm going to do, because I just saw another one there as well, you might think me silly, but I just saw it there, and that was riding in the snow. I did a video on tips for riding in the snow, which might be of interest to you. I know it's completely different terrain, but yeah, have a look at that one. Some top tips of riding in the snow. So that's for typical expert YT. There's 2 videos there. There's one riding in the snow and one riding in the rain. Take a look at them. Hope they help. Lots of top tips. Yeah, it's all about having the right gear. There's no such thing as bad weather, but bad gear. Riding in the rain, have the right gear, and double your stopping distances, how you use your brakes. So go back to basics. Go back to how you were taught in your CBT, 50-50 with the brakes. Following distances double. It can take up to twice as long to stop. Keep your visor clear. Keep your visor in good order. Keep your lights and your indicators clean in good order. Make sure your tire pressure's correct. Make sure your tire conditions, tread is correct. Lots of good top tips on those videos. I love riding in the rain. Well, you have to in Manchester, don't you? Yes, Darren, that's I'm back next weekend. I was planning to go down to the Cotswolds, which might not be going ahead on the Sunday. Monday, I was going to go down and see family in the Cotswolds. And if the petrol situation doesn't improve, then that is going to be unlikely. So it has a knock-on effect. Yeah, it has a knock-on effect to the economy as well. No, good luck with your test on Friday, Paul. Ride to the conditions. Yeah, well, you need to look at where your serious fault came from. Yeah, you might have had a minor fault, but if you've got a serious fault which has caused you to fail, then you need to find out where that serious fault has been marked down as. Lakes is a bit like Manchester. Yeah, it's always raining. Good result, AW8. Clean sheet on your module 1. Got one minor for slightly heavy braking on controlled stop. Local instructor has suggested to get 50 km prep for next 2 exercise. Brilliant. Yeah, so response to signs and signals, road markings. Can't see how that would be a shoulder check unless you didn't do a shoulder check because you don't know. Yeah, can't answer that one. Yeah, I'm sure the prices will go up. Demand. If the demand is there, put the price up. That's the name of the game. So who follows us on? Yeah, Jude Williams. Can anyone recommend 100% waterproof gear, please? Rucker, Klim, Halverson. There's a few different ones. But where do you live, Jude? Because I'll give you the website of the place to go to. This is the place that yeah, they've got. I'm going to put best gear in the country. There you've got 30 stores between Swansea and Brecon. Well, there's one down by you. Try these people, J&S Accessories. They got the best selection of gear. 30. They got a good website as well. Go have a look at them, but they can offer the best. They've got the best selection that you can get. You do get what you pay for. Okay, you do get what you pay for. So buy the best you can afford. Angry Panda, it does depend on your budget. You're right, it depends on your budget. You want a laminated Gore-Tex. Yes, Darren S., it's the laminated Gore-Tex. That is the best you can get. All the best, AW8 at the pub, eh? Good man. At the pub. I've not been to the pub. I've been out for a nice little meal, early doors meal. So yeah, anybody got any bike trips planned then? So that's my plan in November. So go back in for a month, busy month of October, and November back down to Spain on the bike. That's the plan. And it'll be the CB 500X, so it won't be as comfortable as the Pan-European, but 93 miles to the gallon. I'm going to see if I can get closer to the 100 miles a gallon out of it. And looking at leaving it in Spain. So if I leave it in Spain, then I've got a bike here. Western Supermare beach race, hence the need for waterproof gear. Western Supermare beach race, hence the need for water. I can remember Western Supermare as a young kid, going back 45 years ago, and they used to have beach races then. MCN Live in December up in Birmingham. Where are you from, Angry Panda? You coming? Oh, Oxford. Coming up to MCN Birmingham December. It's the 38th year, yeah. I think it might have been going on a bit longer than that. I can remember it as a kid. Hastings, nice part of the world. So anybody got any planned journeys? I know it's coming to the end of the season, really, isn't it? September, October, but anybody got anything planned? Certainly looking also next year, the NC North Coast 500. So Tom, where have you gone, Tom, mate? Where's Tom gone? Where has Tom Duffy gone? Tell us more, Tom. I don't think Tom was a Darwin, so interesting to know where he's training with, if we can help him out. What road trips? Darren S. may see you en route. Yes, well, you need to let us. We'll let you know. Let you know when we're going to do it, and yeah, you can. If it's on your doorstep, mate, we can meet up for a coffee en route. That would be good. Let's have a look. Now we've had a Tom Duffy. We've had contact with you back in. According to me, Tom, you've done a CBT with us in 2016. Is that right? But you've not. And you've made an inquiry with us. 2021. You made right, Tom. You made an inquiry with us in June 2021, and on my records, you didn't come with us for one reason or another. I think one of the reasons might have been the price. So you've gone to another school, and you've failed 4 times. So, Tom, you get what you pay for. So that is all I will say to you on that subject. Get yourself in with us. You've done a CBT with us in 2016. You've made an inquiry of late, but you didn't go with us. So you do get what you pay for, mate. And that we hear of it all the time. So if you failed 4 times, that's not good, mate. What do they say? Buy cheap, buy twice. Well, we charge 165 for a 3-hour lesson. So depends on your ability. So price it's as much as you need. road trips do you recommend? Just depends on where you are, budget. Well, depends. I do like Scotland, but I love going into Europe. I've gone in, France is beautiful. Done a couple of longer trips, 8 countries down into Spain, go down through Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany, Luxembourg, Switzerland, Italy, done many of them. Just depends on how long you've got, I suppose, as well, doesn't it? Rain repellent for your visor. We use Rain-X is what I use. Try it, but washing up liquid, you get furniture polish. But I use Rain-X. That seems to work. Where are you, ball bag? Just remind me where you are, mate. Yeah, furniture polish is a good one. Yeah, furniture polish on the outside is a good one. Yeah, Auto Finesse products, same as a car. Great. Bradford. Yeah, you're not a million miles from us, Bradford. Get yourself down to Manchester or Wigan. Get yourself down to see Sylvia in Wigan. She'll get you through your test. Rain-X is perfect on a pin-locked visor. Yeah, I use Rain-X. Most of the instructors use Rain-X. That's not bad. Yeah, 12. Anybody that's watching hasn't liked the video, please do so. It does help us. It does help spread the word and keep commenting away. Yeah, as I say, it's 165 for 3 hours. So if you need 1 hour, 1 3 hour or 2 3 hour, why don't you just put yourself in for a 3 hour lesson? See how you go. Let me put the price list on. Training, home, no. Direct access. So if we go to the training options, direct access, order online. Have a look at that. There's a price list. Yeah, Darren, we can sort something out. Not a problem. We don't want to be making it difficult. We want to be making it nice and easy. But yeah, the other, so what was I saying about the good news anyway? But other than I'm looking at planning on riding my motorbike down to Spain in November. That's my first bit of exciting news. So I'm looking at riding my Honda CB500X from Manchester down into Spain, going the long way round. That's the plan. And my goal is to try and get up to 100 miles a gallon, if I can, 100 miles to the gallon. I'm on about 93 around Manchester at the moment. If I can get up to 90, if I can get to 100, I'll be really, really happy. So that's one of my plans. But the other exciting plan is, excuse me, because I've just opened my Toblerone. I would love to share it with you, but I can't. My other news was that we've been looking for a fourth site in South Manchester, and we found somewhere. We'd actually found a few, but nothing was sort of happening. So we found somewhere and we approached the company. Anyway, so we sort of verbally discussed and agreed roughly what. Before we can take any further, we invited a DVSA out to make sure they would be happy. They've authorised it. So we're now just back into the negotiation stages with the facility. But it is a good facility. So RJH number 4, all being well, I'd like to be thinking we'll be opening before Christmas. So watch this space. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a very, very special one. And I personally am very, very excited about it. Angry Panda, does the itch to buy a new bike ever go away? I would say it depends. I would probably say for myself, yes, it does go away. But, you know, whether I'm old and boring, I don't know. But I was having a discussion just the other day. Next year, I'll be celebrating my first time ever on a motorbike was 50 years ago. So the summer of 1972 was when I first started riding motorbikes. That was next year. And the discussion I was having only the other day is I want to go and buy a new BMW GS Adventure. I want to buy a new one. And I could go and buy one, but I don't want to.
You're not having one.
And I don't know if it's because I'm old and boring and what, I don't know. Well, next year because I've been riding for 50 years. But I get so much pleasure out of getting on my Honda CB500X. It is unbelievable. It is an absolutely unbelievable bike. And what I really get great pleasure out of is 93 miles to the gallon. So, but maybe my view will change next week. I don't know. I think if you've been riding, if you're a new rider, or you've been riding 10 years, 15 years, maybe the itch doesn't go away. But when you've been riding for 50 years, maybe I'm probably not the right person to ask. 50 years. Now, what I want to see here is everybody should be saying on here, I don't look like I've been riding for 50 years. That's what I need to hear. So, Rob, you haven't been riding for 50 years. Come on, that's what I need to see. Good evening, Talia. Welcome to the channel. And Talia, I will wave at you in the aeroplane going over the wherever it goes over on the way to Spain, because you're coming out here as I'm going home. So, Angry Panda, the itch will be with you for a long time to come. For and growing, Sylvia. For and growing. Right, that's my Toblerone out the way. Those the Honda CBFs, had a few of those. Could tell you a little story about Honda CBFs if you want to hear about it. It might take about 10 minutes, but I could tell you a nice little story about a Honda CBF 125 if you want to hear about it. Who wants to hear about it? So who would like to hear my little story about a Honda CBF 125? So going back about 7 or 8 years ago now, and we used to run Honda CBF 125s because they're beautiful bikes, they're so reliable, and they're so learner friendly, and they look bloody cool, to be honest with you. And we had two at the time. We had a white one and we had a black one, and we had them for years, and they were just bulletproof. They introduced so many people on CBTs. Then one day, and this was in Salford at the time when we had the old school in Salford, one day the instructor came back off for CBT, and he had two pupils on finishing the road ride. And he came back in the black Honda 125, CBF 125, and a scooter. So pupils came back and parked up on the training yard, went into the office, signing, debriefing for the CBT. Now, we learnt the hard way. So the instructor left the gate open. The instructor left the keys in the bikes and disappeared into the office. Nobody else on site. Well, of course, he ran out chasing the two bikes because two scroats. I call them scroats because that's all they are. If people take things without, they feel they don't have to work for them, they are called scroats. And I'll spell that SCROTS with a capital S. And it devastated the instructor. Lesson learned. It devastated us because we felt, how can people come and take? Anyway, they took it. And within a few hours, the scooter was found burnt out. I didn't claim on the insurance because the keys were left in the bike. So I thought, well, there's no point. So the scooter burnt out. 125 Honda CBF 125, never heard of again. And I say never heard of, gone. Although I did about 4 or 5 months later get a speeding ticket from it. So got obviously bike reported stolen and stuff. So got out of that one. There was a speeding ticket on the Bolton Road going into Farnworth. Speeding, active little speed trap gun. So that was 6-7 months after it went. Anyway, so about, well, it was after a year, over a year, maybe about 13, 14 months after the event, got a phone call. And the phone call was from somebody from the local police to say that my 125 has been found and it is at a compound, stolen vehicle compound in, this one was in Walkden. And those familiar with the Northwest will know where Walkden is. So my initial sort of shocked reply was, oh, I didn't expect to hear that. So, and I asked the, can't remember it was a male or female, asked them whether I asked what condition the bike was in. And all they could answer to me was, the wheels are turning. So I thought, oh, right, the wheels are turning. And in my naivety, I'm still naive in certain things, very trustworthy in person, but in my naivety, I thought, oh, well, if the wheels are still turning, I've got the spare key, keep the spare keys. I've got a spare key. I'll get a lift up to the compound and I'll ride the bloody thing home. That, in my naivety, is what I thought would happen. So, living places like a prison, getting in it, you have to have a driving license and I think my passport and all sorts of barbed wire everywhere and stuff like that. So goes to this compound in Walkden, goes in, introduced me to have a V5, all these sorts of things. And they just said, yeah, come on, follow me. And anyway, I kid you, I couldn't believe it was like a graveyard of motorcycles stacked up on top of each other. I mean, there were hundreds and hundreds of motorbikes. And I tell you what, from a distance, I could see my motorbike, my little black Honda CBF 125. I could see it. I had the key. I could see it because the steering lock, at the time it was stolen. Key was in the steering lock, in the steering. I think, well, it should be all right, shouldn't it? And when they said to me the wheels are still turning, I thought, right, I'm going to ride home. Anyway, I goes over in this graveyard of bikes. Could see the bike from a distance. There it is. There it is. It goes over. Oh my God. I'll tell you what, I've never seen anything like it. It was cannibalized. There were bits on it that didn't belong to it. There were bits missing. Everything. No lights, no indicators, everything. It was cannibalized like a real Street Fighter little 125. But the key, the ignition, was still intact. So I got my key, my spare key. I put it in. I was absolutely just couldn't believe it. Put the key in, and I turned the ignition, pressed the button, and that thing purred at me like a kitten. And you know what I thought to myself? It's still got heart in there. I'm not letting that bike be left here. So I arranged, paid a couple of £100 to get it, and I took it home. I thought that bike has still got a heart in it, and I'm going to get it back together. And I took it home, and I'm not a mechanic by any shape or form. I don't do maintenance on my own bikes. But I tell you what, I took that bike home and I stripped it, and I ordered lots of new parts off of the internet, off of eBay and everything else. And I got it back going again. and it went back into the school, and it carried on for another year or two doing CBTs, and I eventually sold it off to a guy. And that's my story about my little Honda CBF 125. And I don't think you'd be able to do that with many bikes other than a Honda. So that's my story. I hope you liked it. Good evening, Mr. Paul Keating. Yeah, well, they won't fare like that, that's for sure. You won't get that from other than the Honda. Well, I could tell you a few stories. I could tell you about the young lady in Congleton Roundabout on the A34. I had 2 CBT pupils at the time. I was on my old Honda DeVille. I did 100,000 miles on a Honda DeVille. In 4 years, that bike did 100,000 miles for me. It was bulletproof. Again, Honda, you see. My first ever bike I rode in 1972 was a Honda. So I'm a fan of Honda. But where this story was going, I can tell you now that I was on a lesson, 2 CBT pupils. I was coming out of Congleton to the big roundabout by the fire station. And a young lady behind me, the blue Peugeot 205, putting lipstick on in the mirror. Knocked me out from behind. She ran into me behind, knocked me off my bike, knocked me out. She was putting lipstick on. What a place to put lipstick on. What about Confessions of a Bike Instructor? Not that front. Well, I've got a CBF 1000 GT. That's a nice one. Although I do want to sell it because I don't like the fuel economy on it. When I'm riding this Honda 500, I'm getting used to the 93 miles to the gallon. And I would think I get less than half of that on the CBF 1000. Paul, what's your budget, mate? And where do you live? What's your budget and where do you live? Well, you get a new, you can go a bit more than that for about 2.4. Get a brand new Honda CB125F. You'd be far better going and paying a little bit more to up to 2.4. You get 2.4, I would think, a brand new Honda 125. Rather do that than getting a Chinese one for 1,800 quid. Get a Chinese one at 1,800 quid. Depreciation is going to go. Or get a second-hand Honda CB125F. You get a second, where are we now? Get a 1718 plate CB125F for about that. Far better than getting a brand new Chinese one. That would be my advice. Yeah, that's you're right. If you, what are you thinking of doing, Paul? Are you thinking of using it as a tool to get some experience, to get your bike test done. Sounds like a plan, that, Paul. Come up to Manchester. We will look after you. You've had quite a few people from down south as well. Yeah, 125 won't do any harm. It won't do you any harm. Yeah, nice ST 1300. Yeah, beauty. I rode mine down to Spain the last Pan-European I had. She went down to Spain. Her name was Isamu. Isamu was my trusted ST 1300. ST 1300 Isamu. Let me see if I can get a video of her. She looked after me down into Spain. In fact, I've got a live stream. I've got a playlist of my European trips. And she was a stunner. My review of her anyway, this is when I first got her. It wasn't a new one. My review of Isamu. My trusted ST 1300. She was a beauty. So have a look at that one, Paul. My review of Isamu. Sylvia's Honda Movie Star. Yes, it's a very nice bike indeed. Very nice bike indeed. Yeah, we had Benelli TNT 125s. Common tightening up was the gear shifter. Yeah, gear shifter. We found that we had to keep tightening that daily. So moved over to the Hondas. Honda Groms. Yeah, double the price, but it's a different quality. Yeah, my CB. This one's for Sophie. My black CBT, my black CBF 1000, which I don't know whether you've seen that one, but she is called Jemima. So my black Honda is called Jemima. My BMW was called Felix. And I've got some nice advanced workshop playlists, Paul, and my European playlist, and a lot of those were done on the ST 1300. Beautiful bike, and shame they stopped making them because I could be tempted with a new one. Mine was an 03, and absolute beauty to ride. So smooth. 300 miles on a tank, and third gear on those ST 1300s. It's like a flipping rocket. They do look after us when we name them. They all have personalities and they have feelings. All of my bikes have feelings. It's so important. So who follows us on Facebook then? Who follows us on Instagram? Who follows us on Twitter? Well, we've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Oh, we've even got TikTok. And we've got our own forum. And we've got YouTube. There's 6 different social media platforms. So who follows us on all of them then? Who doesn't follow us on them, and why not? Great to hear, Paul. Yeah, that's what we like to hear. Well, we have got a merchandise. Well, it depends whether it's what you... Let me see what we've got. Accessories. We're getting a new... We've got a new supplier as well. So this is accessories. And then we've also got clothing, but we've got a new supplier, so stock of this isn't brilliant at the minute. But anyway, we have got a new supplier. Now, I know over in America, there's guys that have done some of the bigger, much bigger channels than this one. Bear in mind, this isn't a... Yes, it's really pleased with this one, but our you know, we're nothing on the same scale as some of those bigger American channels that do books and all sorts of things. So, you know, we are primarily a bike school, and this is just a sideline to help not only our trainees in the school, but anybody up and down the country that we can help. So the merchandise is something, it's not really a big complement of stuff, but there are bits there. Anyway, have a look. Accessories, link there, and clothing, link there, if that's the sort of thing that you were thinking of. Yeah, Kawasaki's are what's Japanese, isn't it? It's one of the top 4 or 5 Japanese brands. Kawasaki, Honda, Yamaha, and Suzuki. So they're all very, very good. We use them all, apart from we don't have a big complement of Yamaha. But that might change on site number 4. We might consider getting the Yamahas, as it's the only one we haven't. Although I would say it's probably a Kawasaki again. Good evening, Ola, Donna G. Ola, Donna G. Ola. Nobody will know what that is. Paul, we have just shy of 10% of our bikes are electric. So we've got, well, 10% sounds a lot, doesn't it? We've now got over 40 bikes in the fleet, 41 bikes in the fleet, and that's going to go over to, it'll go over 50 with the new site coming on board. So we'll have over 50 bikes in the fleet, and we will grow that 10% certainly next year as new brands are coming through and the sort of battery charging life increases. So watch this space. We are doing electric now. We will increase the electric, and I think the government introduction to bikes versus cars isn't the same. Is it 2030 for cars? So bikes are different to that. So I think you will get, you'll see more and more over the next few years. We will have more next year. Matt, advice on engine size for first big bike. Paul, I've got a video, mate, because it doesn't matter who you speak to, everybody's going to have a different opinion. Some will say to you 600, some 500, some will say 1,000. So listen to everybody, but don't listen to everybody. You make your own decision. How does that sound? Now, what I have got here, I'm going to put a link in for you, Matt, and that is a live stream I did recently on the top 10 first big bikes after passing your test.
Sabor menta o sabor fruta menta
alivia tus ganas de fumar en tan solo 30 segundos. Come on now.
Tired of cold calling? Introducing Lucia, the easiest, most accurate way to prospect.
I want you to have a look at this video. Top 10. It's the RJH top 10 first big bike. Have a look at that. And tell me what you think. It was something we did about a couple of months ago, but it was a just our take on the first. It's not just me; it's also everybody in the chat room. There's a lot of experience here in the chat room about people what first big bikes and things like that. Everybody's got a lot of experience in this chat room, so it's not just what I think; it's what try and get everybody to contribute to it. But have a look at that, see what you think. Good evening, Ali. So Ali's just bought a new big bike, haven't you, Ali? Ali bought a MSX 12. Yeah, there could be an incentive, Paul, for encouraging you to get electric 2 wheels. Could be an incentive. But all the big players are not don't think are quite there yet. I think over the next few years, you'll see some of the bigger players all, well, I need to introduce electric because that is the future. Akshay Mayer, random, but just wanted to say I passed on Friday and have a full license. Fantastic to hear, Akshay. Where are you from, mate? Where did you pass your test? And glad that the videos helped you. And that is what we need. We need that positive feedback, which makes all the videos worthwhile. And here's young Harry. Young Harry enters the chat room. Good evening, Harry. You feeling better tonight, Harry? I think you weren't feeling too good last week. Good to hear. Yes, that's always a very good tip, Sophie, is to always choose a bike that fits you. And what you don't want to do is be intimidated by the bike or the power or the size of the bike. You need to feel in control of that bike. Countdown till Thursday from a ride down to Kent. Of course, it's going to rain Thursday afternoon. It might not. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Darren. So we've been on now for an hour and 18. So I'll let the clock go up to about an hour and 30 minutes. So we'll give her another 12 minutes and I will be signing off. All right. So that's the plan. Give it another 13 minutes and I will be signing off. So get them questions in now if you've got any questions. Dry in France on Friday. Dry in France on Friday. It's dry in Spain. Yes, dry in Spain. So yeah, what I was planning, Harry, just to, because you weren't on early on, I'm planning on riding down to Spain in November. So back, get a busy October in, and then I'm planning, nothing's set in stone, but I am planning to ride down to Spain in November. Yeah, Harry is just going down to not far from Grenoble. and he's getting he's going to see his family down not far from Grenoble. Is that right, Harry? And Grenoble is supposed to be very, very nice. We bypassed it a few years ago, didn't stop there. Oh, there's no horror stories on tests. What do I add on tests? Paul Keating. On tests, I've had a test terminated because the lad went onto the motorway, or he didn't go on the motorway. Went on a slip road to the motorway, so I'm going to terminate it, leaves him there, comes back to the test centre, and we have to go and find him. But no horror stories on test. What I have had is, I've had a few over the years of, right, pull over, park up on the side, off you get and wait there, or go back for your instructor, terminate it for whatever reason. But no horror stories. What I have had on CBT, so at CBT, straight over the roundabout. So big roundabout, grass verge, somebody straight over it. What else have we had? Turn right at the roundabout. They've gone round the roundabout, anti-clockwise, not clockwise. The youngsters sometimes do that. Go down a no entry, things like that. But no, it's pretty tame stuff. It's pretty tame. Hey, that's a good bargain. A Corbin seat for 50 quid. Get yourself on eBay. You never know what you could find. That does sound a good price, doesn't it? So time is catching up on us then, ladies and gents. So we've got about another 8 minutes, and I will be 7 minutes. I will be saying goodbye or good night. So I hope you all sort your fuel situation out in the UK before I come back in a week. Otherwise, I might not come back at all. I might stay out here. If there's no fuel, there's no point in me coming home. So 5 minutes in. Anybody got any last topics to have a chat about in 5 minutes? But I do appreciate everybody joining in. As always, it's been a pleasure. Next week, when I'm back in the UK, we'll get back into some live streams of specific subjects, CBT, Mod 1, Mod 2, advanced instructor training. Also want to try and get a bit of time, start uploading a few videos again. I know I've been a bit quiet on video uploads. It's mainly just live streams at the moment, but it has been so busy. And we got a few little plans coming in with other bike reviews. Sophie said she would like to get into doing some bike reviews, so we'll see what we can get out of Sophie. Yeah, subject any bikes people want a test ride review on in particular. Yeah. Well, listen, we can always get even some of the dealerships. Sophie would be happy for you to do a test ride. We'll get you kitted up with a video. We can get it on the channel. Absolutely. Crying out for something a little bit different like that. So when I get back to the UK, we can sit down and have a brainstorm session on that subject. I feel like a little project coming along your way there then, Sophie. Yeah, we can put you in touch with the right people. We've got the contacts for Triumph, got the contacts for Yamaha, got the contacts for Honda, Suzuki, Kawasaki, all the contacts. So we'll have to get a weekly bike review video, get you kitted out with cameras and stuff like that. And I've got get a good few ideas on stuff. So we'll see what we can do. It is all about time. Time is the key. Wait until all the electric ones come out when you don't have the gears or anything. It's just rev and go. Yeah, they are instant drive. Vauxhall. Vauxhall, Sophie? You don't look like a Vauxhall driver. Sophie that rides Triumph and rides Royal Enfield doesn't look like a Vauxhall driver. So then, that says it. That's. I'll let you off then, Sophie. If it's a company car, I'll let you off for that. So once again, thanks very much for joining, everybody. It has been a pleasure. And yeah, well, I don't know what a Vauxhall driver looks like, Harry, but Sophie doesn't fit that. So not quite sure. So thanks very much for joining. Been a pleasure. Have a good rest of the week. Catch up with you next week from the UK. And we're back onto normal live streams, getting a subject, and we'll, take it from there. So look after yourselves. Enjoy the bikes. Hope the fuel situation sorts itself out so you can get out on your bikes. Okay. So adios, everybody. Good night.